Good evening, everyone. Let me. Hello. Sorry, a little bit late tonight, but welcome along. My name's Kelley Farley. I'm an independent Stampin' Art demonstrator in Karaka, Auckland. And every Sunday night, come along and make a card. We're going to make a card that I saw online from Sue's Paper Crafts, and she is a Canadian demonstrator. And I forgot to get the card out to show you, but you basically are going to use some designer series paper. It's a great way of using up your designer series paper because you need two pieces exactly the same for this technique to work. So I'm going to pop you down and just we'll have a look at what designer series paper I've got, and then we'll make a card from there. I'll find the ones that I've got in my cupboard. Yes, they're in my cupboard. So I'll pop you down, turn you around, and pop you down. 2, 1, 2, 3. Just grab my trimmer. Okay, so let me just get it up on my screen so I can see if anyone's there. If you are there, please do say hello. Pause and play, hopefully we get to live. Yes, we do. Okay, so you're going to need a paper trimmer and then coordinating cardstock for the designer series paper that you choose. So I've got this one here, Splendid Autumn, which I think is retired, or retiring. It's on the, I think it's on the last chance list. Oh, that's a pretty one. So you need to have two pieces exactly the same. So I've got a feeling I've only got one piece left of that. One of those painted daisies. So we won't be doing that one. Okay, so let's have a look. This is the card here. So I don't know how well you can see it, but you can see that you've got, see it's got like a little bit of dimension on it. Here's another one using some new paper that we've got coming. No, this is, oh, this is out of one that, the one that had lots of florals in it. And then this is the Aurora one. Wasn't as happy with this one because, but we put, can you see, I put the Winker Stella in between them. Alright, so there's those. I feel like this is kind of autumnly and a bit masculine, and so I probably need some masculine colours. Now I've sorted this. Oh, that's pretty too. I have sorted these by, because I think it was sorted for a paper share, which this is the leftover of. So that one, oh, that's quite cool too. That's, oh, that's pretty too. That one, oops. That one, and that one. Okay, so let's get the ones out of here. That's different. I got one of those, one of those, one of those, one of those. No. One of those. One of those. Alright, so I've got that one, and that one, and that one, maybe that one. Okay, so let's pop those away. Okay, let's pop those away. So we need our trimmer. Now, obviously, New Zealand card is a different size to America. So we want to have a piece that is, so if I go, these ones here, I went taller there and had a piece narrower there. This one the same, a narrower piece. That width is not really a problem, it's dependent on your image. It's the length that I have had trouble with. So what, because you need to be able to cut it. So if I go, instead of 14.35, I'm going to go 14 centimeters. Our cardstock, when you cut the width here, is 14.85. So if we go 14 centimeters though, that means that we can evenly space. I'm just going to get rid of that. Evenly space our pieces along here, but you both pieces cut them at the same time because they need to be exactly the same for this technique to work. I'm going to take a little bit of the blue sky, so I'm going to take a centimetre off the blue sky and the tree, and then I'm going to take some off here. Now we need to go to 10, so we're going to cut that bit there. So this is going to be the piece that we're working with. Alright, so we'll pop that over there, and then these are our two pieces, so you'll see that they are cut exactly the same. So one of them we're just going to pop out of the way, and then the other one, 14 centimetres, 2 centimetres each. So you want to cut them and keep them in order, alright? So we're going to go 2 centimetres, 2 centimetres. When I'm doing a smaller measurement, I like to cut on this side of my trimmer. Just it gives me more space to hold on to make sure it doesn't move when I'm cutting it. If you have 3 panels the same, you would be able to make 2 cards. That in theory should be speakers are all funny. So what I need to do, just so it matches up, is pop that on there. The same. Alright, so what we're going to do, so I'm just going to slide these off my trimmer. And I mean, these ones are not so bad, but sometimes it's a bit hard to tell what order they go in. And actually, using my paper trimmer, this part here is going to be a whole lot easier. So I'm going to pop that on there. Oops, let me just get my stuff out of the way. So what we're going to do is we're then going to line these up on our, and I find the trimmer helps to just set everything in the corner. Alright, next one. And you'll see that they kind of match up as you go along. Alright. Like so. So I watched a video from Sue's Paper Creations, I think her page is called, and she's a Canadian demo, and she got given a card like this. And so my friend Debs and I had a day in the holidays, and so I had a go at doing it. And it was really cool. So I made 3 cards, and she made a couple of cards. But I thought it was super effective. And yeah, you just need to have a great way to use your DSP. We all know that we have got a lot of DSP. So we've ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. So I'm going to leave the edge pieces, and I'm just going to pop out 1, 3, 2, 4, 6. So I don't know how well you can see that. Can you see that very well? You probably can't. You can see slightly where the lines are. What's happened? Did I flip it around? Yep. Okay, so now what we're going to do, so that's what I was saying, if you had, if you had another piece, you could make these smaller and you'd get 2 cards out of it. This one here, we ended up making our end pieces wider and then the smaller pieces are narrower. So it just depends on the look that you want. So what we're going to do is these ones we don't need. Alright, so I'm going to flip them over and we're going to put some dimensionals. Now if you have the foam adhesive not pads, the full sheets, foam adhesive sheets, then you could cut out blocks and put on if you want to. If you have the strips that we use for, what do you call it, shaker cards, you know, the long thin strips, you could use those. I'm just going to use dimensionals. Because as long as you put them in a similar place, you still get that same balance. I had a class this afternoon and didn't use my Take Your Pick tool for my dimensionals, and it was really, I noticed how much of a pain it was actually to pick them up, to get them so that it was easy to get them off. Get caught on your bracelet. It's not ideal. Okay. That's quite good. I thought it was supposed to be like that. Alright, so I'm actually going to start at the end. And I've got my piece right in the corner. I've got my ruler tucked in tight so that that's a nice right angle there. Nice square edge. And then I'm going to get my designer series paper and I'm just going to tuck that into the corner so that it sits right on the correct place, and then flip it around and I'm going to do the same thing with the front. Alright, it's gone too far. And what you're trying to make sure that you do is that you line up your images clearly and easily. Okay, so it'll look seamless when you're doing it. It might not feel it, but it should look seamless when you're doing it. Oops. Okay, so this one here is going to go about there. And I'm not going to press it down firmly yet. And this one is going to go about there. So you see I'm lining up here, I'm lining up here, and I actually lined up these pink pieces at the bottom, and then I'm just going to press them down. So when you look at it top down, it looks a bit like that. When you look at it on an angle, you can see where there's gaps, like it's like a 3D almost. It's like one of those kind of magic eye things. And then what I found really set it off is a bit of, now I don't know if this is my, I think this is my empty one. Let's just leave the one, the chop one, throw that away. There's the other one, there it is. And then we're just going to move it out of the way. And then just between the panels, we're just going to run the Wink of Stella. Because it's alcohol, it dries really quickly. Well, this one's nearly empty too. I need to keep going now because I've started. So we're just getting that nice little shimmer in there. Oops, wrong place to put my finger. Actually, I think I've got some alcohol that I can put in there. Keep that for now. Throw that out of the way. Okay, so that is our technique. And then what we're going to do is pop it on a card. I feel like that's vanilla. That's not on there. So let's get some vanilla cards. Please do say hello if you're here watching. I looked before, there was no one, which is totally all good, but if you are there, I'd like to say hi. Please let me know if you are here. Or if you end up coming back and watching the replay, please do say hi. I'd love to know who's out there. Alright, so I actually would have preferred to make that slightly smaller. So let me see if I can manage that without making a mess of it. If I go this way. And I'm actually just going to take the width of the trimmer off. There we go. Hopefully that's enough. It's better than it was. So that's going to go on there like that. To try and eliminate some weight on the front, I'm going to use blue rather than more dimensionals, because they get heavy on the card. So it might just mean that it becomes a bit more top heavy. So let's see. I'll see if that makes a difference. Alright, and that is the end of our card. Just going to put a sentiment on it. And then we're done. Or you could actually just leave it like that. It doesn't necessarily need a sentiment. So that's our card. Again, these are the ones that I have done previously. So this one is using the Sweet Bugs. Is it Bugs Life DSP? Sweet Bugs. And then this one is, I can't remember the name of this one. But it's the pack that's got all the flowers in the pots and stuff like that. And then there's a couple of nice scenes. And then the Aurora Lights one. So those are the three that I did after watching Sue's paper creations online, and then this one tonight. I feel like it needs something, but I feel like it also doesn't need something. Maybe just a little happy birthday down the bottom or in the middle. I don't know if I want to put twine on it. But yeah. So anyway, if you have a go at making the card that we've made tonight, I'd love to see your creations. I know that we all have different DSPs and we all have different likes, so I'm sure they'll be phenomenal. I'll pop a post with this card on it so that if you decide that you want to have a go, it definitely doesn't look, it definitely looks better in person than it does. Yeah, there you go. You get to see the 3D-ness of it. Yeah, so if you would like to make a card, please pop one down. If you, I have in my hot little hand the new catalogue, and if you do not have a demonstrator and you are in New Zealand and you would like me to send you a copy, please reach out. I'm happy to do that. Yeah, let me know. And it starts on the 5th of May, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 5th of May to the 31st of August. So if you'd like a copy and you don't have a demonstrator, please do get in touch. Those are my contact details. Or you can just message me through my Facebook page. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you have a super day. If you're in New Zealand, enjoy your Monday day for Anzac Day. And I will see you next Sunday. Bye for now.